Their licensed physicians offer treatments that have a 98% success rate, regardless of age or medical history. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Schwartz. If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications with personalized care. Even men who have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And it's affordable.
Men, if Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, schedule a private consultation to experience the Paramount Men's Medical Center difference. See results on your first visit guaranteed, or your consultation is free. Call 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
If you're recently retired or nearing retirement, you've got your work cut out for you. Between soaring inflation, stock market volatility, and the threat of higher taxes, saving and investing alone won't be enough. Learn how you could overcome today's toughest retirement challenges in a one-night adult education class called Retirement 101. It's taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects, one of the largest advisory firms in St. Louis. The strategies discussed are best suited for people who have saved at least $300,000 for retirement. And if you call today, your tuition fee is waived. To register, call 314-626-8817. This is your opportunity to learn from decades of financial planning experience. Call 314-626-8817. 314-626-8817. 8817.
Liberal extremists threaten us with a socialist nightmare, and fake conservative Mary Miller helps them do it. In Washington, Miller repeatedly voted with AOC and the Socialist Squad to weaken America. Siding with the radical left, Miller voted to defund our military, oppose fair pay for our troops, and against investigating Joe Biden's disgraceful Afghanistan exit. Miller even bragged about being the only Illinois Republican to stand with AOC and the Socialist Squad to undermine our military. And before Miller sided with liberal extremists against our troops, her family got rich at taxpayer expense, banking almost $1 million in government subsidies. We can't afford to let the socialist win. We can't afford fake conservative Mary Miller. Strong Leaders Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising, paid for by Strong Leaders Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. 1900 Campus Commons Drive, Suite 100, Reston, Virginia, 20191.
News, talk, sports. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
All right, great to be back with you guys. It's Thursday on the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. And obviously, you know, every couple of days now we have new January 6th hearings, and we're getting little bits of information as they trickle out. It's been an interesting couple of days with what has come out and what we're expecting today, right? Like today we're expecting to see video shot by a British documentarian that was behind the scenes in the lead up to and on the day of January 6th. And we don't know what that's going to show. We didn't get a sneak preview of this, did we? I mean, I know that for previous hearings, they kind of put out a teaser, if you will, which is kind of odd. It's like a TV show. Here's what's coming up on next week's episode. But today, I don't think we've seen anything of that, but we are going to hear from the director of the documentary, and I believe they say they have some of the footage that they've been looking through. I don't know what it's going to be because we just know that it covers the time frame in the lead up to and in the day of January 6th.
And I believe this is going to be the last one until next month, correct?
Right.
Then we're going to start to get more hearings in the month of July. And guys, we were talking, and we have been, I think, as a running topic, discussing the idea of what does it take to change somebody's mind? What matters to people? And there's a lot of striking testimony, I believe, that's happened, over the first few hearings that we have seen so far. But one of them is from Gabriel Sterling, who you may know as one of the election officials. He works for the Secretary of State's office. He is a Republican, and he was the one who, right after the election, he gave a press conference, in front of the steps. I believe it was the Capitol, there in Georgia. And he was asking for a tone down of the rhetoric, a toning down of the rhetoric. Stop, you're going to get somebody killed, I think were his exact words, or at least something like that. He said something toward the end of his testimony the other day, earlier this week, that I thought was really, really interesting and illustrates exactly what we are talking about.
For lack of a better word, it was frustrating. But oftentimes I felt our information was getting out, but that there was a reticence of people who needed to believe it because the President of the United States, whom many looked up to and respected, was telling them it wasn't true, despite the facts. And I have characterized at one point, it was kind of like a shovel trying to empty the ocean. And yes, it was frustrating. I even have, family members who I had to argue with about some of these things, and I would show them things. And the problem you have is you're getting to people's hearts. I remember there's one specific, an attorney that we know that we showed and walked him through. This wasn't true. Okay, I get that. This wasn't true. Okay, I get that. This wasn't 5 or 6 things. But at the end, he goes, I just know in my heart they cheated. That's just, and so once you get past the heart, the facts don't matter as much. And our job, from our point of view, is to get the facts out, do our job, tell the truth, follow the Constitution, follow the law, and defend institutions.
Really interesting. And it's funny that, yesterday I hung out with my high school friends on the Glover Show for a few minutes. You guys were okay with that.
Yeah,
I got your permission. But we were talking about this at the end of the segment about the January 6th hearings. And Dave told the story of a friend that he knows. So he told this on the air. A friend of he knows that essentially said, and I'm paraphrasing what Dave said. So this is now like third hand. Mm-hmm. But essentially, I don't even care if they did what they're accused of. He's still my guy who represents my interest. I don't care if all of this is true.
Well, and I heard that segment. It was really good, very poignant and personal. And a phrase that he used that stuck with me is, I don't care, right, if he cheated, because he's the only guy who, quote, will fight for my way of life. And I do think the way I interpreted that is that goes into the culture wars. That goes into not just policies and taxes, but your value system. That's appealing to your heart, your fears.
That's what Sterling was talking about.
Yes,
there.
The things you hold most dear.
And that bums me out, to be honest, because and I voted for Obama. I voted for Biden too. And I don't mind telling you, I think everybody kind of figured that anyway. If either of them had been guilty of doing this stuff, that is immediately disqualifying for me. And it is a massive, massive disappointment, because they may do what I want them to, and I wouldn't argue that they both did everything that I wanted them to, or even close to what I wanted them to. But even if that, I can't accept a person holding that office that doesn't hold the institution of the office at a high regard, to the point where if they lose, they can't just concede and say, okay, I lost. I'm sorry. I'm moving on. To where they tried to subvert everything and make people in states like Arizona flip the count in their favor, or in Georgia, find me 11,700 votes or whatever it is. If I knew a guy or a woman I voted for did that, that is immediately disqualifying for me. I don't care what they stand for. I don't care what they do, what policies they have. I will find somebody who has similar policies and is also willing to be a good loser. Yeah. I'm sorry, but if we expect this, if you want to call it an experiment of democracy, if we want this to continue, we can't have people at any level, especially at that level, doing that stuff. So for me, if any of my people did that, they're out in my eyes.
And I want to continue this conversation after the news, because what we're talking about is striking at our value system. And over the past few decades, we have seen the shared moral fabric of our country tear apart, right? The seams, the threads are being pulled apart. And so it's not just taxes and domestic or foreign policy. We're also, again, looking at value systems. That speaks to people's hearts. It also speaks to their deepest fears. And when you are being motivated by fear into a belief, it is hard to be reasoned out of that belief.
And in D.C., politicians do nothing. It's time for a fighter like Eric Schmidt. Biden's green energy policy punishing us at the pump. Eric Schmidt will fight back. Biden's big government spending sprees. Eric Schmidt will stand strong. Biden's failed agenda, driving up inflation. Eric Schmidt says no more. Fed up? Choose a fighter. Eric Schmidt, U.S. Senate. AFP Action paid for and is responsible for the content of this messaging. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AFPAction.com.
Race fans, this is Frank Bomarito. The Bomarito Automotive Group 500 Race to the Savings Sales event is back, and you're the winner at every Bomarito location. When you purchase or lease any new or pre-owned vehicle, make your best deal and receive 2 tickets to the Bomarito Automotive Group 500. That's the Race to the Savings Sales event going on now. Details at Bomarito.com. See you at the track.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Tired of the cookie-cutter feel of some new home communities? Discover the uniqueness of Lombardo Homes at Inverness. Inverness features variable setbacks throughout the neighborhood to create a park-like setting along the streets, as well as trails with pocket parks, loads of common ground, and 4 lakes. Inverness features custom homes ranging from 1,700 to over 2,500 square feet, priced from the high 300s. Tour our decorated display within Inverness, located on the north side of Feisey Road, west of Bryan Road. For more information, visit lombardohomes.com.
At 10:30, we have sunny skies and 85 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel. The Fields Food Store in Lafayette Square is open after a manager was attacked there early this morning.
It happened at about 7 o'clock. His employees were opening the store. A man who had been kicked out before walked up to the manager and complained about not being allowed in the store. Owner Chris Goodson tells me he had been kicked out for being irrational. Well, this time he pulled a knife on the manager and cut him in the face. The other employees recognized the suspect and were able to give police a good description. He is in custody.
KMOX's Brian Kelly at the scene. An attorney working as a senior investigator for the U.S. House Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection will leave the post amid calls urging him to run for a Missouri U.S. Senate seat as an independent. John F. Wood's resignation is effective tomorrow. It was confirmed yesterday by Steve Krim, a political consultant working with the group formed to back Wood as a Senate candidate. Krim says Wood has not declared a Senate run, but is exploring the possibility. A U.S. House committee working on defense spending voted to recommend buying 8 more Super Hornets for the Navy. The planes are made locally by Boeing, and there had been a Pentagon recommendation to end the program. A Washington Avenue startup laying off about 30 employees, according to a former employee's LinkedIn post. Balto produces technology to help in sales calls. The company was founded in 2017. They are cleaning up debris. They're cleaning up debris northbound 270 before 64, and watch for a stall eastbound 270 past 367. That stall's on the right shoulder. There's another stall southbound 270 at Page Avenue, also on the right shoulder. The KMOX forecast, mostly sunny and hot, not that humid this afternoon. Look for high of 91 tonight, partly cloudy and warm, the low 73. It's sunny and 85 degrees downtown at the Arch.
In 1970, a 28-year-old recent law school graduate became the most wanted woman in America. She's also my mother. I'm Zaid Ayers-Dorn, host of the new podcast, Mother Country Radicals. When I was growing up, my parents were on the run from the FBI, at war with the U.S. government. Mother Country Radicals, a family history of the Weather Underground. New episodes are released every Thursday, wherever you get your podcasts. But you can listen to the entire first season right now on Odyssey.
Back in 1971, Russ and Carolyn Long opened STL Fenceworks, and over a half a century of service to the St. Louis, St. Charles, Warren, and Franklin counties, they have never once wavered in their commitment to a quality and customer-first approach. You can rest assured that when you order a project from STL Fenceworks, that it will be completed by an experienced craftsman in a timely manner. And what really sets STL Fenceworks apart is their lifetime warranty that reinforces that commitment to quality. In fact, their warranty surpasses anything else offered in the industry. And you may be worried about supplies and materials. You do not have to worry at STL Fenceworks. Whether you want to beautify your yard with a new fence, or perhaps you need to finally put in that deck that you wanted so you can host parties and barbecues, they've got more supplies on hand right now than they've had at any other time in their 50-year history. So you know that there will not be a long lead-in when you order from STL Fenceworks. So visit them today at stlfenceworks.com. It's 10:33.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great, because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
This afternoon, it's the Cards and Brewers. Ameren pregame show 12:15. First pitch 1:10 on KMOX and streaming on KMOX.com.
$10:35 on the show on KMOX. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. You guys can always, we really do enjoy interaction, and we'll get to a lot of it both on and off the air. So if you want to text us, it's always open at 314-436-7900. And the voicemail line is always open as well, 314-944-1120. The only thing I would ask on the voicemail is, as far as what has happened so far compared to what we would like it to be, I guess we would say just try to stay on topic. We get a lot of things that I've had an axe to grind about for years, and they want to leave that. And, you know, we're not going to throw off the show to do that. So, I mean, if it's something that's happening in the show, and whether it was last hour, next hour, whatever, that really, it could be anything you want within that. It's just hard if it's kind of random to work it in. So again, 314-944-1120. All right. So we got a text from the 314, and it was addressed to you, Ranj.
Yeah.
But it really could be addressed to, generally speaking, anybody that voted for Joe Biden. It is this: do you like what your president and your people have done to our country? That's the part I don't like. I'll get to that in a second. I love President Trump, and Biden is an embarrassment and a failure, in my opinion. And then said, no need to reply, really. We just disagree, and I can still listen, even if I don't agree with you, which I like that part.
I do
again,
too.
there are parts in there that we can all. I don't like the our country because it makes it sound like the country's supposed to be one thing versus another.
Yeah, well, okay, I see what you're saying.
Or
I
if
thought
that's
you were
not what
taking
they
it
meant, if they
as
mean
his country and not
Well, no,
ours.
that's
But I
what
don't
I
think
mean.
I don't think that's what he meant.
It's hard to read into it, so I wanted to interpret it both ways. Like, it could just mean like our, like including all of us, which is what it is.
Right.
But there are a lot of people that position this as if you're not on their side, you are not for their country.
Well,
and that's really, really, to me, at the root of what the problem is that we have these competing ideologies, and it's not about tolerance or acceptance. It's that my side is right and your side is wrong. And I'm going to tell you right now, neither side is right or wrong. You are what you are. We can agree, we can talk, we can compromise, we can come together. But if your goal is total victory, it ain't happening.
It begins with labeling people real Americans. When you say that is real America, you are real America. There is no real America. All of us. An urban area, if you live in a town with a population of 50, wherever you live, you are in real America. If you're in the borders,
well, it's all.
If
real.
you're Hawaiian,
yeah.
If you're Alaskan, if you are from Colorado,
Honestly, if
you live
Puerto
in New
Rican
York,
citizen.
yes, if you are in real America. So that always bothered me, and I think that may have been one of the things that kind of started that idea that it's us versus you. Like, you are either a real American or you are not.
Well,
like, you either believe what I believe or you're not a real American. That's nonsense.
The worst animate versions you could level at somebody is that they're un-American.
Yeah.
That to your point.
Right.
But I do want to bring up again the culture wars, because we are talking, I know a lot of people don't like the term culture wars, but it is a battle of what is our culture going to value, right? Like, which direction are we pulling? What's interesting, and David French of the Dispatch and the Atlantic has made this point a lot, is that both sides think they're losing the culture war and are feeling that that's under a desperate attack and about to collapse at any moment, that your value system is under attack. I'm going to bring this up because we just had the Supreme Court case yesterday in the Carson decision. A lot of people feel that religious liberty is under attack. We hear that in our ads. Religious liberty is under attack, end quote, right? And we feel that you will not be able to practice your faith. Well, if you look at the past few major Supreme Court decisions, they have ruled in favor of religious liberty. In 2017, they had the Trinity Lutheran Church case, and this happened right here in Missouri. It ruled that you could not exclude churches from public funding for a playground safety program because it's a religious institution. That ruled in favor of religious liberty. In 2020, you had the famous Espinoza case, and that ordered that Montana had to include religious schools in a tax credit funded private scholarship program, right? So it ruled in favor, saying, hey, you cannot exclude religious schools just because they are sectarian, no matter what their religion is. Well, yesterday, in a 6-3 vote, this was a major ruling that the state could not exclude religious schools in a tax credit for another tax credit funded private scholarship program, meaning we've had 3 major Supreme Court cases protecting religious institutions when it comes to publicly funded dollars, saying you cannot discriminate solely on the basis that this school has some type of sectarian teaching. But if you put that in perspective, and again, French pointed this out, you could argue that we have more religious liberty in this country right now, and I'm talking legally, right, than we've ever had in this nation's history. And if we have more religious liberty now in this nation's history, do you know that probably means we have more religious liberty now than we had at any other time in world history when you look at the pluralism of this country? So there is a difference between the culture becoming increasingly secular, which it is. We've seen the data. Fewer and fewer people are going to church. But that does not mean that our religious protections have been thus far inhibited. Now, does it mean you want to keep an eye on it? Sure, you can always keep an eye on it, but this Flight 93, you have to act now or everything you hold near and dear will fall apart. We're not there.
You should always, not you, but all of us, the general you, the royal you, should always be wary of voices that are always playing to your fears. You should always be wary of that. People fear is really powerful, right? I mean, it's something
and
that,
so is anger. And it's
too,
they're the same thing in a lot of ways.
They're related,
yeah,
right? Because fear often leads to anger.
Yep.
I mean, like they are on the same path. And if somebody is always, and I'm not talking about any particular point of view. I'm talking about any point of view. If you're always hearing voices playing to your fears and your anger, you should be wary of that. I'm not saying ignore it. I'm not saying there's nothing to it. I'm saying be aware, because some people do it because it makes them money. Some people do that because it keeps them relevant.
Let's say a lot of people do
good.
that.
Yeah, sure. And I'm not differentiating between ideologies on this. I think that there's a lot of it that goes on across the board. And I'm not saying that it's equal. I'm just saying that it exists in both ways. And we all need to be better consumers of information. So if you're like, then I'll use a quick example of this. Like I have family members, they forward all these ridiculous emails that once you go to Snopes or you fact check it, it's not real. It's an urban legend. And it always comes in like 17-point purple font.
With underlined with exclamation points.
You're right.
And I reply to the whole list because it's all family members. We have a big family. And I reply all and I say, number 1, here's the link showing you this is not true. Number 2, when you get something that looks like this, it's probably not real. We all need to be better at understanding and having a filter, if you will, for things that just seem to fit the pattern that would make you angry or fearful.
They do nothing but confirm your priors.
Right.
If someone does nothing but confirm your priors, then you think maybe there's something happening here. And to quickly to Wheeler's point, whether it's, keep us divided and fearful for money or power, there was a really poignant moment on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with Trevor Noah. And he was talking about apartheid in South Africa. And he said, if you have enough fear and desperation, you can get people to believe anything.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of it is economic. If things aren't going well for them, it's very easy to take advantage of that if you're in a position of authority and say, yeah, all these things that are going wrong for you and the facts that you can't make ends meet, you know whose fault that is? These people over here that are taking that all from you. And what Kevin is talking about, and I think it speaks to a larger underlying problem in the country, generally speaking, and it's not just here. It does happen all over. Information diet. You're supposed to do well with your actual food diet, right? That'll keep you healthier. So will your information diet.
You mean I can't eat pizza every day?
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, if you could.
No, but it's not good for me.
It is not good for you, though. Just like you can read, I don't know, greasefire.com all the time. And, well, I don't even know if that's a real thing. But, like,
I'm going to look now.
Don't look at, I don't know. It might be something bad. Don't do that. But, like, if we found this, there's a pedophile ring coming out of a pizza place. And so, like, look at a story like that sounds ridiculous and try to vet it for yourself.
Yeah.
But I don't think enough people do that. I think they take, like, I knew she was evil. I knew it. And this story confirms what I'm talking about.
And let me say this, too. I'm not saying you can't be concerned. You hear the phrase that politics is downstream from culture. So if you see a culture that could be increasingly non-religious or hostile towards religion, if you feel that, you have every right to be concerned. My goodness, I was in the 80s a homeschooler who would keep eye on legislation in case homeschooling got into legislation and they tried to regulate it or make it illegal or whatever, like they did in California. So you can keep an eye on legislation, but there is a profound difference between being concerned but also still trusting the checks and balances of our system and catastrophizing the direction that we're going, thinking my way of life will be destroyed tomorrow versus we should all be vigilant on who we elect and what legislation is going on. I have no problem. I mean, I am concerned, right? But you can't say that every cut is fatal in the next 24 hours or you start taking desperate measures.
All right, so we did get a follow-up from our texter that read when he said our country, he meant everybody.
Yeah,
that's how I figured that's how he said
and
it.
I just wanted to be clear because we didn't have it's hard to read in the text, right? The context is not there in a text and there's no blue font, so we can't tell if someone's exactly what they mean. So I'm glad there was a clarification there, and that makes a good point. All right, so we'll get back to this, I'm sure, at some point. This topic's not going to be going away. If you ever want to get in, 436-7900 to text, 944-1120 for voicemails. I'll tell you what's trending next up on the show.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at KMOX.com/community banking. With a focus on community banking, who better to join us than Sandy DeMond, Senior Vice President and Director of Community Banking at Busey. She joined Jeff Burgess and me to discuss Busey's financial literacy programs available to both students and adults. Listen to our June podcast, Building Community with Busey Bank, at KMOX.com/community banking.
At 420ID.com, we make it easy to get your Missouri medical marijuana card. Dispensaries are open and inventory is in, so why wait? 420ID is the only company that provides you with a real plastic ID card and have served over 19,000 happy Missouri patients. Open late every day until 9 p.m. If we can't approve you, you pay nothing at 420ID.com. Today is the day to sign up for your Missouri medical marijuana card at 420ID.com. Use promo code RADIO and save $30 today. That's 420ID.com.
Enjoy the show from wherever you are with the MLB app. Download for free to gain access to in-game highlights, pitch-by-pitch features, and more, all from your mobile devices. Show support for your favorite team with customizable MLB Club-branded icons, and tune in to exclusive premium content for every team in the league. Baseball is everywhere with the MLB app. The #1 source of live baseball on your Apple and Android devices is the official app of Major League Baseball. Download the MLB app today. Additional subscriptions may be required.
Hey, St. Louis, I want to have an honest conversation about real estate. Never in modern history have we seen a market like this before, and most homes are receiving multiple offers, often well over asking. You can trust that when you hire us, we will market your home correctly and professionally while saving you money. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty, and I've been a broker for over 18 years and have helped thousands of my clients navigate every type of market, including this one. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri. It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same.
But at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, we've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs. 314-752-2500 or crawfordbutts.com.
Guys, I want to talk to you man to man about erectile dysfunction and PE. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer custom blended medications that have men lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history. See results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your exam is free. Men, if Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Community Living Incorporated is a local nonprofit organization on a mission to provide services and create opportunities for people with disabilities. See how you can get involved at communitylivingmo.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
Dude, I'm here for the show. What show?
St. Louis, this is your show.
The show.
The show on KMOX.
What is it? What's happened?
What's going on? What do you know?
What just happened?
What happened?
I need to know.
Trending now on the show.
All right, Michael Kelly is going to be joining us after the top of the hour, so we'll be talking a little bit more about political strategy and whether a certain strategy is a good idea or a bad idea. And we'll probably go beyond that, too. He just got back from Ireland. I got to see how my people are doing.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, the
Do you think they're still making wheels?
What? You think he visited my leprechaun clan?
Yeah.
Wait, are you Irish? I thought you said you were English.
It's an English name, but I'm more Irish than English.
Oh.
So it's like it's not what you would think it would be. You look at me, you're like, oh, leprechaun boy, you probably 98%.
Okay, first of all, no, we didn't say that. No one said that.
Other people do.
I've said it.
Yeah. Ranji said it all the time.
Yeah.
He said I look like the Notre Dame mascot if I grew a beard.
Yeah. Which you can't grow a beard.
I do.
You can't grow a beard.
You want to see?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
All right, stop. Okay,
we just
today.
had it like a week ago.
No. I mean a beard, Kevin.
Yeah, what do you think
not
it turns
stubble.
into if you stop shaving?
Not stubble.
What do you think it turns into if you leave it alone?
So full beard.
All right.
I'm not
going
without,
to do that because
see? All right.
Listen,
you could look real cool if you wanted.
I could look real cool. I could look like Santa Claus. That's what I would look like, a young Santa Claus.
I love it.
Yeah. Not going to do that. Plus, I don't like the whole the chin is white.
Yes.
I think that's I think it's a good look.
I don't like that.
I think it's all right.
Like, what is it called? Orange creamsicle? What are those things?
Yeah,
where it's
the dreamsicle or whatever.
The dreamsicle, where it's like red with the white. That's what you would look like, a
I'm
dreamsicle.
Yeah. Yep. And I like them, but I don't want to look like one.
But
Whatever.
it does sound like dreamboat. Someone could go, oh, Kevin Wheeler, he's such a dreamsicle.
Yeah.
All right. What's trending, Amy? You got something?
Hasn't happened like that for a long time.
So dreamy.
Okay, I've got something. So it was trending that Jupiter is weird because Jupiter,
the planet,
eats other planets apparently.
Wow,
eats them.
Well, the king of planets, as it's called, has double the strength of our gravity and an exceptionally dense and dry atmosphere, right? And it has the storms that it's been having, and apparently it's growing by eating other planets. the Astronomy and Astrophysics Journal.
What
says.
other planets has it eaten? Because the other ones in our solar system are still there, right?
It just says that the study that came out in this journal suggests that Jupiter has the remains of other planets hidden inside
So like
of it.
so they crash into it.
Okay.
Wait, is Jupiter a hard surface? It's not all gas,
it's very
right?
gassy.
No, I wonder how much of it is gas.
You guys,
can we measure it?
Depends on what it ate.
Yeah.
It
Well,
ate other planets.
if it's eating other planets, I'd imagine
It's like
that's
the
really
beans,
gassy.
The beans of space.
Just don't sit
That's
next to
worse than
Jupiter.
beans. Yeah, don't sit. There's probably a lot of protein. All right, here's what's trending for me. This is something I've never heard of. I don't know how I feel about challenges in general, but here's one that must be a new one. 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, 9 innings. Are you familiar with this?
Oh, wow. We should do this.
So, yes. So there is a challenge that during the course of a
Yeah.
baseball game, you have 9 beers and 9 hot dogs. So that's a beer and a hot dog an inning. I know you two couldn't
No,
do
but
it.
honest to goodness, Ranj,
Yeah.
you are this type of person. What do you think you could do?
I could do 2 dogs. And I mean, I guess if I was pushing it, I could do 3. Like pushing it. And then I could probably give you I could give you quite a few beers.
But you could do 9 beers without the hot dogs easily.
I think so, but maybe not over the course. I'm probably going to get to like 6 or 7.
These games are really long.
They are long.
You got time. I think you can do
You
it.
could do
Well, it
9
depends on
beers
the
in a
beer.
baseball game.
Like if you
Yeah,
get
that's
just
true.
the can or
Yeah,
the
if you're
tall
getting like
boys
the
or whatever.
big old one, that's probably gonna be harder.
Yeah. By the way, one of my favorite.
I can't wait to tell you my trending for you guys. You guys are gonna love it.
I can't wait to hear it either. But one of my, I just want to give a kudos to our friends at Busch Stadium, and they've been there for several years now. I love the convenience store style, like concession.
Just go get your own.
Yes,
that
where
was
you go
probably
open the
a
door.
COVID invention, right?
No, it was prior to
Oh,
that.
was it?
Yeah,
Was
like the first game I went to, and I hadn't gone in a long time because I didn't live here. When I came back 2017, they had them. I thought this is one of the greatest things ever.
You know what else is great?
What?
Scientific fact. You have microscopic mites that
No.
mate on your faces while you
No,
sleep,
No.
and they are evolving to be a part of us.
Okay, you know what?
They are now you. The microscopic mites that mate on your face are now part of you.
No, this is why I cannot watch those documentaries about germs or hand washing. Like if someone said like you can be like a dermatologist or an epidemiologist, anything that has to do with skin or diseases or but like I would be like, well, I have to die now. I can't.
So it's a
I
called
would
a,
just.
But an epidemiologist, you don't ever have to touch anything.
It's called a skin mite.
Oh my gosh,
They
Kevin.
eat from your pores.
Oh, my gosh.
They mate on your face, and new research suggests they're beneficial to us.
Oh, good. That's good news. See, that's good news.
They're helping us. Amy's like, I don't care.
Well, that's why they're called
I don't
mites.
want. Amy's like, I don't want to be helped.
They're called mites because they might mate on your
See?
face.
This is.
What?
This is one of those things where you're giving me a fact and I choose not to believe it.
Oh,
I am not believing this.
it's on brand for you.
Wow, I just so dislike you.
All right.
I
During
mean-
the break, let's check each other for mites.
They're microscopic, man.
Oh,
They might mate on your face.
I said that.
Suburban Leisure Center has Adirondack chairs in stock and on sale now. Our amazing Adirondack chairs come in 16 colors and in lots of styles. Gliders, rockers, tables, and chairs. We even make an Adirondack chair with a pull-out ottoman. Also, many can be made to order. Hurry into Suburban Leisure Center now on Olive 1 mile west of 141 or check us out at suburbanleisurecenter.com, home of the Big Red Chair.
Baseball is everywhere with the MLB app. Get exclusive updates from around the league on your mobile devices. From game day pitch-by-pitch features to select live broadcast coverage, the MLB app is your ticket to all things baseball all the time. Get live notifications sent to your phone, watch, and car so you're always up to date on the biggest breaking news, scores, and standings. The MLB app is your hub for live baseball everywhere you go. Download the MLB app today on the Apple App Store or Google Play. Additional subscriptions may be required.
Parents, remember this website. Write it down, make a plan to visit. www.showmeschooloptions.org. Have you always wanted to send your child to private school? If they attend a public school district, or if they're coming in or just out of kindergarten, now may be your chance to receive up to $6,375 per child per year to apply towards private school tuition for this fall. But time is running out. The next school year is around the corner. Go to www.showmeschooloptions.org to learn more about Missouri's Scholars Program. It's new, it's free, it's a chance to invest in your child's future. The Missouri Scholars Program can be used for private school, homeschool, tutoring, therapy, and more. There's nothing more important you can do for your child's future this summer. Go to www.showmeschooloptions.org now. There could be $6,375 just waiting to be claimed. Tell your friends too. www.showmeschooloptions.org. Sign up and see. It's free. And who doesn't like free right about now?
KMOX, KEZK, HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. An Odyssey station.
Leaving a child in a hot vehicle can lead to their death very quickly. Set cell phone reminders or place something you'll need in the back seat so you don't forget your child is in the car. Look for your baby before you lock. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement to stock market risk? How would you like the potential to participate in credited interest from market index returns and limit the downside? Join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio. You can also call me now for your complimentary Retirement and Income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, we have sunny skies and 86 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel with our top story. The Fields Food Store in Lafayette Square is open after a manager was attacked there this morning.
It happened as employees were opening up at about 7 o'clock. Owner Chris Goodson says a man who had been banned from the store walked up to the manager.
Complaining about not being able to be here before because I think he'd been irrational before. And so that's our understanding at this point.
Goodson says the suspect punched the manager and pulled a gun. When the manager disarmed the man, the gun went off. The suspect then pulled a knife. The manager suffered cuts to his face and hand. Other employees recognized the suspect, who was arrested after a short foot chase. Brian Kelly, KMOX News.
The U.S. Supreme Court today struck down New York State's limits on carrying concealed handguns in public, a landmark victory for gun rights advocates. CBS News correspondent Jan Crawford covers the Supreme Court and has reaction from what pro-gun owners in New York are saying about the ruling.
You're going to see New York State now have a permitting system that's more like, the other states that require that, and they can't require this extra hoop. But yeah, you're going to have people pushing back on that and say, we don't need a permit system at all. And that's going to work out in the political process.
The ruling on the Mississippi abortion case that could overturn Roe v. Wade is expected any day now. A popular vaping product will soon disappear from store shelves. CBS News correspondent Jim Krasula.
The Food and Drug Administration is blocking e-cigarette maker Juul Labs from selling its nicotine products in the U.S. Dr. Lauren Bolt of the Ohio State University School of Medicine has a concern.
Nicotine users, tobacco users, are going to struggle with quitting really cold turkey. And so they're going to have to go to another type of product.
Juul has been widely blamed for sparking a national surge in teen vaping. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
The First Mid-Bank and Trust business desk. Along the highway of life this summer, it appears people are still buying RVs despite high gas prices. General Sales Manager Dan Griffin of Great Escapes RV Center in Eureka tells KMOX sales are up 15% over this time last year.
Us as Americans, we like to take our vacations and take our trips. And, we put that as a pretty high priority on our list a lot of times.
Griffin says he is seeing the kind of RV you hitch to the back of your vehicle selling the most. That way, he says, people can park their RV at a nearby resort, then drive there on the weekends with just the cost of gas in their car. The Dow from Stifel at this hour is down 46 points. Checking traffic, there's a stalled vehicle westbound 64 at Lindbergh Boulevard on the right shoulder, a stall eastbound 64 at Kings Highway on the right, and they are cleaning up debris northbound 270 before 64. That cleanup should be wrapped up by now. The forecast sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. Mostly sunny, hot, and humid. Not that humid, I should say. The high 91, partly cloudy and warm tonight, the low of 73. And for Friday, some sunshine, another hot day, not that humid, the high around 90. We do have a chance for a storm or two for Saturday, but a very hot and humid day for Saturday. Then breezy Sunday, less humid, the high just 84. Right now, it is sunny and 86 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
All right, 11:04 on the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler, and our good friend Michael Kelly in studio. And yeah, don't worry, that's not you, Michael. That microphone's been falling like that all day.
Too many jokes. Too many jokes. Too many jokes.
You know, so things happen sometimes.
You're saying that Dr. Schwartz could fix that microphone?
Yeah, 30, 60, 90 minutes it
However
could
long you
hold
need the
up
microphone.
if we got it fixed.
We'll see if that one can just make it through the segment.
My God.
This one only needs 12 minutes. This one only needs 12 minutes.
This show's all about class, people. So if you don't mind, let's get back to that.
I'm just honored to be on such an aptly named show.
Yeah.
So
with such good
creative.
people.
Yeah, we had a creative department work on it.
Listen, we came up with 7,000 names.
And we settled on the most basic possible.
You know why they settled on it?
One of them was going to be Kelly's Heroes.
Well, there you go.
Well, they settled on the show because it means all of us are replaceable.
He's like, well, don't like that one anymore.
Hey, come on, man. I just started. Come on.
Like they're like, whatever you do, don't put their names in the title.
That's true. Then you don't have to worry about it.
No, that's, you know what that is? That's intellectual property. If any of us get let go, we're taking it with us.
Okay.
Well, let me give you guys some props because, first of all, I've listened to the show a little bit back since I've gotten back from Ireland. I absolutely love it. And for those people who are listening to you on a regular basis, because I found you to be entertaining all 4 hours that I listened to you, doing 4 hours of radio, take it from somebody who's done it once and sat in for these people, is doggone hard. You guys are really good at what you're doing.
You know, in Avengers, where they're about to start the war, and Tony Stark says, "We have a Hulk, we have a Kevin."
Yeah. We do.
And Kevin can talk, man.
I
so
thought you saying I'm breaking things, which is also true.
Well, that's
we need him in the Democrats in the Senate because he could just sit there and filibuster longer than any human being I know.
Yeah,
right.
I don't play for party, but I do play for money.
Well,
you're
no
so do a lot of
the
people.
rest of them all.
What a new concept in politics.
And then you also have Amy, which is, it's really easy to mess with Amy, isn't it? Just Amy, what are you running from? Let's talk it through.
You know what she's running from? Her awkwardness. But it catches up.
She's hardly awkward.
Can I just tell you, this is what Hancock and Kelly do to me every Friday. Hey, Amy.
It's good-natured ribbing.
Do you want to join us for a segment? You know, we're talking about these things, and I think, wow, they value my input, my opinion. And then I get on the show, and all they do is make fun of me. Michael's like, I gotta ask you about this. It's a bait and switch every Friday. Do I fall for it? Yes.
How'd you do? How'd you do on your run?
Well, you can listen to the podcast, the show. It did not go well.
Oh,
I know. That's okay. That's okay. They called the medic.
Yeah, you can't do it. What?
It's generally not a good day if somebody
but
has
all
to
your
call a
parts
medic.
are here, so everything must have been okay.
I made it. Well, I barely made it. There's a picture of me that I posted that is like Lurch. Because my friend goes, "Why'd you post the Lurch photo?" And it's just you said I look like Emperor Palpatine in this picture.
I mean, kind of the face,
I'm
kind
like
of,
all pale, my hands are limp, and I'm like, I'm too weak.
I love the dark side.
No, please, I'm too weak.
The medic had to show up. It's not
But
funny,
it
but
was
it
like
is.
it was like Palpatine though, right when Vader was going to throw him down the shaft.
Yeah.
Like it was that
Yeah.
Palpatine.
Oh, yeah.
It must have been hardcore to have a medic at a run that's called
Yeah, the medic-
Grandma's Run.
It's they get past the finish line. They're just people laying all over the pavement, and they've got like the Saving Private Ryan medic. This one's gone. Like, they went
Actually-
right past Amy. Like, forget about her.
When he says there's people lying all over the pavement, it was just me. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
the only
I
one
was trying to
lying
be
on
nice.
the pavement. I know.
Was it hot?
It was warm. It's warm for a marathon. I mean, not bad. I mean, that would just be making excuses at this point. It was 66 and sunny, which you can handle because they had cups of ice that
Right.
people were pouring on them and sticking in their shirts. So yeah, it wasn't hot. It was not my day. I just blew up.
Happens.
You all are on video too?
Yeah. Here, we got to put some
Whew,
video.
Do they pay you extra for that? Did they give you a
No,
clothing budget?
no.
I'm
it's
trying
just-
to do this selfie style.
Should we get
Yeah.
more
There we
for
go.
this?
yeah.
Hey now.
Hey,
But
there's
they
Michael.
They should be. You should have some extra, considerations as a result of being on camera.
Do you want to be our
These
agent?
guys don't know it, but I'm being paid for that.
Yeah, you are good for
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
well,
what
that's
the
because
heck?
Wheeler covers all the bases.
He does.
He covers all the bases.
A little bit older than them, a little more experienced.
I just would be embarrassed with the stuff that because sometimes there's topics where we're talking about, and I have to mouth the Hancock. I don't know anything about this. What are we talking about? And I'll be like, well, a Democratic senator
Well,
introduced it,
If
Kelly.
anybody was watching, it was about an hour ago. If anybody was watching during like the 10:15 break, because we're still on during the breaks,
Yeah.
Right?
Amy was trying to stab Ranji with a pencil.
Yeah.
Or a
I know
pen.
it was a pen. I was like, I'm gonna stab him with this pen, and then Wheeler had to remind me we're on camera.
You're on camera right
You're
now.
on
Don't
camera.
murder Ranji.
Yeah.
You're on camera.
Hey, did you go to the Dead and Company concert?
I did.
How
It was
was it?
lovely. I ran into Tom Ackerman there.
Nice.
We didn't get to have too much of a conversation because we were in lines, etc. But it was an awesome concert. It wasn't as hot as I anticipated it to be. And I'm going to say it right now. I'm a Deadhead, but John Mayer makes that band. I don't care what anybody
Oh,
else says.
he's a brilliant guitar
Incredible
player. Yes, he's
I-
brilliant.
I'm going to create the ultimate sin with Deadheads, and I'm going to say he's better than Jerry.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Uh-oh. Hey, I will
Sorry,
I will
people.
absolutely accept that because I was never a Deadhead. So
Yeah.
whatever you tell me, yeah. Okay.
I'm like
I'll
just
go with
nodding
it.
along, like okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like the Grateful Dead?
No.
Do you know what
Really?
he
Way
likes?
too mellow.
What are you
Way
into?
too
Like
mellow.
Ozzy
Oh.
Osbourne?
So that's mellow.
Oh, that's mellow?
He likes
Ozzy's
Slipknot.
easy
Slipknot.
listening. Yeah.
And Road Rash.
Corn,
I don't even know what
Road
that
Rash.
is.
Slipknot,
Road Rash
well-
is made up, but the other ones are not.
Michael, it's Slipknot very good, so I wouldn't bother.
Yeah. Michael,
I'm just
but I'll
kidding.
tell you this.
Kevin, it's great.
I bet if I asked Michael to join Ben Boyd and I at a Slipknot concert, he would do it, but you guys are afraid.
Yes, I am
Afraid.
afraid.
Totally would go. But I don't do any of that moshing.
Oh no, we go to the pit.
No, well, good luck.
We don't go
Have fun.
in. We stay on the edges and
You
just
sit on
like
the
watch.
edge.
Yeah.
Is there
I'm too
any
old for that crap.
reasoning behind the pit other than just to beat the snot out of
That's
other
it.
Well,
people?
see, people don't understand though because
No, here we go.
it's more like on the offensive and defensive lines of football. You're not actually trying to injure your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to get that aggression out. And there is actually a code. Like if somebody falls, you pick them up. If somebody is getting beat up too much, you get them out.
Like uncle?
If
Like
somebody's
uncle.
being a jerk, you get them out and get security. So there's a code that people follow.
Really?
Yes.
Because
But there
to
are
me,
also
it
jerks
just seems
that try
like
to ruin it.
organized chaos of people trying to hurt each other.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's
no.
what it is.
The goal is not
I
to
will go
injure.
watch you from a distance.
Yeah, I would do the same
I'll
thing.
run the cameras.
You don't want to be in there? Oh, you'll go now.
Oh,
So
I-
now because
if-
Michael
if
will
Michael
go, you'll
goes,
go.
I'll
Yeah,
go.
Ranji and I'll stand together.
Yeah, we'll go.
All right.
Yeah,
Good.
we'll keep an eye
I
out.
got you, Ben, and I
Where
got
would
you.
a Slipknot play? I bet it's a really
Oh, no, they
fine
play at
looking-
Riverport.
Oh, they do?
Oh, they lead tours. Yes,
Yeah.
they sell out.
By the way, my least favorite music venue in St. Louis is Riverport.
well, I don't
because
even
it's
why I don't
impossible
even know
to
why I
get
call
in.
it that because nobody's called
Yeah,
it that
what is
in
it
like
called?
100
Hollywood?
years. Yeah.
I mean, the concerts are nice, but it's hard to get in and get out.
Yeah.
Right. And let's be honest. Once you get done with 3 hours of music and dealing with drunks, you want to get out. You don't want to be sitting
That's
in
why I
traffic.
don't go to music festivals.
Right.
Just because, well, there are two reasons. One, too many people.
And two,
Uh-huh.
no one invites you.
Is that right? I'm sorry. Name drop. I got invited by Cypress Hill to a music festival. So
Wow.
get
jump
lost,
around.
Amy.
The soap company?
How old are you?
Jump around.
What is
Insane.
Cypress
No,
Hill?
that's not them either.
That's
man.
House of
It's
Pain.
not.
You're thinking Insane in the Brain.
Who is
Insane in the
Cypress Hill?
membrane.
Insane in the Brain. You've heard it.
Insane in the membrane.
That's it.
Insane in the
That's
brain.
That's
them.
not the same
Yes.
as that's not the same as.
Now, how were
House of
you
Pain.
and Cypress
It's a long
Hill in
story.
the same?
It's a long story. They
He
gave
was-
me tickets.
He was their cab driver.
I took them to we went to a bar together.
Nice.
Like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago.
Wow.
I brought them to my friend's birthday party with me.
Did
Yeah.
you really?
Yeah.
They're like, this guy
That's
seems
legendary
cool.
stuff.
Yeah, it was great. It was really great.
Did they sing?
No.
Well, they don't really sing.
Well, I mean,
do they? They kinda
and
scream.
not everybody recognized them, except
Uh-huh.
the DJ there did, and kind of made a big deal.
Did you know
about
they
it.
did a metal record?
No.
They did. Skull and Bones. It's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Let's check that out.
You are like Mr. St. Louis to me. Like everything about you is right down the middle and blah blah blah. And then to find out you're some metalhead,
Yeah.
that's shocking to
So
me.
good though.
It's so shocking to me.
If you hang out more with him, you'll realize that he is anger manifested, and it makes sense. Literally, I say this 100 times a day, but 90% of our show prep is just me asking Kevin if he's mad.
Yeah.
Really?
I
Yeah.
almost threw a banana yesterday.
Really? So is your mouth kind of like your steam valve release? You just
See, like people, my wife will laugh because she knows this. Like I am so chill 99% of the time, but when I snap, it's stupid.
Yeah, it's deadly.
It's stupid.
Yeah, hurting people.
Yeah, like I mean, no.
I'm going to a concert.
Usually damaging objects.
Yeah.
Like I broke the footrest on our couch playing a video game.
He does the stuff I used to do when I was 12.
Yeah.
With a Nintendo.
My Mario died.
Yeah,
doggone
like,
it.
come on, this controller sucks.
Yeah, it was the leaping linebacker on Madden that got me.
I
And
know,
was
I know.
slammed my foot down and
Yep, you
snapped
told
it.
us.
Yeah,
And-
so annoying.
And are you handy enough to repair the things that you break?
Oh, no,
or
it's still
not?
like that. It's just sitting there.
2 years later.
Yeah, the best thing I could do is maybe some duct tape.
Right.
Oh, boy.
Didn't have
Yeah.
approval for that though. All right, we do need to get to the serious strategy questions that we have for Michael
Mhm.
Kelly. So we'll do that when we come back. Amy Marks, of course, Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler, and of course our good friend Michael Kelly hanging with us here on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Hello, this is Chad Clayman with ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com. We've been buying a lot of houses lately with foundation and water damage. So if you have a house that has water issues, maybe water's coming in the basement or problems from previous water damage such as mold, we're interested in making you an all-cash offer. If you have a house with water or mold damage, foundation issues, please reach out. 314-946-9999. 314-946-all-9. Receive your all-cash offer today. ClaymanGroup.com.
Nationally recognized, locally invested, UC Bank is pleased to be named one of America's best banks for 2022 by Forbes. A prestigious and humbling honor, UC is proud to deliver best-in-class service to our valued customers and vibrant communities. Whatever your financial needs, partner with an award-winning team for solutions to your business, wealth, and personal banking needs. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Men, if you suffer from erectile dysfunction or PE, experience the Paramount Men's Medical Center difference.
I'm Dr. Schwartz. To help you last longer in the bedroom, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications with men lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And it's affordable.
Experience the Paramount Men's Medical Center difference. See results on first visit guaranteed or your exam is free. Call 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Our national debt is now over $30 trillion, an increase of over 20% in just the past 2 years. I'm sure you've been told at some point that taxes will be lower when you retire, but do you truly believe that? Now is the time to begin planning for the future of tax increases. Is your financial advisor helping you with tax planning for a tax-efficient future? If not, this is the time to call me, Ken Heisey, at Heisey Advisory Group. 314-328-4400. If you're like most people, you have a portfolio of investments, but a portfolio is not a plan. How have you planned for the potential legislative risk of increased taxes? Call Heisey Advisory Group now and let us help you create a plan to reduce the tax risk in your retirement. Call 314-328-4400, 314-328-4400.
Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through A Wealth Management, LLC.
CertaPro painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
Power of timeliness.
We show up when we say we will, on time and fully caffeinated.
The power of transformation.
Also known as making your house look so good, your neighbors will be jealous.
The power of certainty.
That's your local CertaPro painters. The power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at ThrottleNet. These are the genius IT guys I've been representing for years and years now. We are number one all the time. Best in customer service from Small Business Monthly. Best in cybersecurity, again, Small Business Monthly. We have an average response time. I love this statistic. The average response time in St. Louis in 2020 by IT companies. You have a problem, you reach out to them, hey, I'm all shut down, help me, was 3 hours. If you got back within 3 hours, you were cool. Ours was 1 minute, 57 seconds, and the guys were very unhappy with that. It takes less than 2 minutes for us to address your problems. Here's a huge thing. We are now offering $500,000 in ransom protection to everyone who uses us. This is part of the deal. You don't pay extra for it. So if you happen to be hit, and you have to pay, we're going to pay it up to $500,000. Now, this shows you how confident we are because no one under our protection has ever had to pay. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS.
Serving St. Louis for over 96 years. KMOX.
It's 11:19 on the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here on a Thursday.
All right, I want to toss this question to Michael Kelly. Michael, there's been a lot of talk, right, from Democrats talking about the threats to democracy posed by far-right Republican candidates and how, Trump and Trumpian people are a threat to democracy. At the same time, they're pursuing this super risky strategy, which is promoting those same far-right candidates in GOP primaries, hoping that the extremists will be easier for Democrats to beat in November, meaning they want these extremists to win the GOP primaries because they think they'll be easier to beat. And to me, that seems like a very risky strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was intimately involved in the first more modern play that this happened, and it was Claire McCaskill who was running against Todd Akin. And Todd Akin, you'll all remember, had said when a woman is legitimately raped, the body has a way of dealing with that. It was a ridiculous statement. Claire McCaskill was watching that. By the way, that show that it was set on was Charles Jacobs' show, which has now been replaced by the Hancock and Kelly show at 8:30.
There you go.
Love that show. You might want to listen to it. But there was a strategy where Claire ran ads saying that Todd Akin was too extreme for Missouri. And she played exactly what Todd Akin said. And the thought process behind it was that this would entrench further the supporters of Todd Akin, that Claire McCaskill, this person that they had great disdain for, would make him the nominee. And from a Democratic perspective, it was speaking to Claire's base. So it really was a genius play. What happens? Todd Akin winds up becoming the nominee, and Claire McCaskill winds up beating him in the general election at a time when people really didn't anticipate a Democrat being able to hold the seat. Now we've seen that idea evolve, right? And I think what we saw Eric Greitens do this week was really more to enrage folks like myself to continue to push that narrative so that it would fire up his base. The one exception I have with the Eric Greitens thing, from my perspective, is I do believe that it is the end of democracy if we are going to allow people to talk about killing their opponents. And that's exactly what the man implied in that. You watch that video, there's nothing else there. And so there's two strategies. One is to ignore it, which some people are arguing for, and others are saying to put a spotlight on. I think Eric Greitens is going to be the nominee. You see over in Illinois, though, Governor Pritzker is running ads. He has a preferred Republican candidate, and they're running ads saying this guy, is too conservative for Illinois, etc. I don't like this. Ultimately, I don't like it because I think it could backfire. The fact that Eric Greitens potentially could be the nominee here is problematic to me. I would hope that a Democrat, that enough people of goodwill and common sense would come out and say, hey, look, I may be a Republican, but I am not voting for this man who's accused of and guilty of abusing a woman. At the same time, watching Governor Pritzker do it to the Republicans and trying to get his preferred candidate, I guess is smart political strategy, but I think it shows you where we're at now, that we can no longer convince people on our own messages. We're trying to find the most repulsive candidate from the other side to be able to elect them.
I'm sorry. I mean, all I think about when we have this discussion is Lindsey Graham saying, if we nominate Trump, we will get destroyed and we'll deserve it. And it didn't happen that way. So it just, and I think we're even further down that line where a person who might be to a lot of people very objectionable and maybe would have been objectionable 15 years ago is just not anymore. There's a lot of appeal. Gerrymandering, I think, helps that. But there's so much appeal for people like that there is a real danger that somebody that 15 years ago would have been considered off the rails can actually win.
Confession. About 10 years ago, in fact, we had a KMOX event where they asked people secretly, tell us somebody, Kelly, on the other side of the aisle that you kind of like. This was 4 or 5 years ago. I said it was Lindsey Graham. Why did I like Lindsey Graham? Because he was kind of that John McCain cloth where they would work across party lines.
Right.
He was entrenched on his political belief system, etc. What we're seeing now from Lindsey Graham is, I think his statement is coming true. If you elect Trump, it will ultimately devour and kill all of us. It's happening. You're seeing Republicans going after Republicans now because there is no discipline. There is no standard of what a Republican stands for. There's this cult of personality that is Donald Trump and the folks that are following him. And I think that this is a party who has no leader outside of Donald Trump, yet he's not really steering the ship. He sits in the lurch and waits till somebody crosses him and says, nay, 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 and everybody goes out and beats him. I think ultimately what Lindsey Graham said is going to happen. I think it will ultimately eat him. Do you remember when he stood up the day after January 6th and said, I'm done with this guy?
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 days later, he's walking in the airport.
Right.
What happened to him? He was accosted. What did he have to do? He had to get on an airplane and go down to Mar-a-Lago and kiss the ring of Donald Trump. This extremism in our politics is killing us. Now, it is heightened on the Republican side. I don't think there's even any comparison to the rhetoric that's coming out of the Republican side to the Democratic side, but it's bad on the Democratic side. I mean, this city is a perfect example of it in a very red state of how extreme and out of the mainstream we've gotten. Look no further than what we're doing with our prosecutor and our police.
You know, it's really interesting that this particular strategy, getting a more extremist GOP nominee and then trying to beat them in the fall, is riskier because right now people are just overwhelmed with inflation and soaring gas prices. And you have a Democrat in the White House. Democrats run the House, they run the Senate. And so people may vote for Republicans no matter how extreme they are, just on party affiliation alone. But I heard someone say this, which I think is actually pretty true. Do I think the Democratic policies have heightened and made certain inflation or gas prices worse? Sure. But this was going to happen. And I forgot who it was, but this Republican, I guess, politician or political pundit said, the GOP should be thanking heaven that they don't have a Republican in the White House or that they don't run the House and the Senate, because this was going to go down anyway, and you got to point a finger at somebody.
Potentially. So look, we since the 2008 crash had every spigot on in our economy. We had this thing called quantitative easing. We took interest rates down to zero. We were handing out money. Inevitably, we were going to pay the piper. How much does the president have to do with inflation? Probably not that much. But at the end of the day, it's like being the manager of a ball team that's not playing.
You're the boss.
Right. You're held accountable for it, and Joe
Yep.
Biden is going to reap the consequences of it. Having said that, I was in Ireland. It's just as bad in Europe. It's just as bad everywhere else in the world is going on what's here. It's time to pay the piper, and Joe Biden's going to suffer the consequences of it. The scary thing to me, though, is that if you watch what Eric Greitens and the Republicans are doing, they're not demonizing Joe Biden. They're demonizing people inside their own party.
Well, is the operative word there yet?
Yeah, well,
because after November,
they don't have to yet.
Yeah, they'll turn
they don't
it on
have
Joe
to
Biden.
yet.
Yeah, but there are some qualified people running for the United States Senate across the country. The ones that are getting the attention in the multi-candidate fields are the ones who are saying the most ridiculous stuff. And so if you're upset with the fact that you have a Bernie Sanders or an Eliot Omar or whatever their names are, that's what's driving this primary elections.
All right, we got less than a minute, Michael. How was the tone of the conversation about current events when you were in Ireland compared to the tone of the conversation here?
Well, so they're in the midst of that whole Brexit thing.
Right.
And so Brexit is a complete nightmare, particularly for Ireland, because part of Ireland is controlled by the Brits. But the biggest conversation that we would have with people is, do you all really have a gun? You have a gun?
They ask you that.
Yeah. They're like, do you have a gun? I'm like, no, I don't have a gun, but nearly everybody else in the country does. And why do you need these guns? And you're trying to explain to people why we have the guns that we have, and they just don't get it.
Thank you, Michael. You're the best.
Are you kicking me out?
No, you can stay.
No.
You want to hang out?
It's up to you.
I'll stay with you guys for a minute.
I'll give you $1.
All right.
God knows it ain't his. It sure ain't no
Guys, I want to talk to you for a
surprise.
minute, man to man, about erectile dysfunction and PE. How are you doing in the bedroom? Are you still the man you used to be? Or are you feeling the disappointment of ED? Are you experiencing the embarrassment of PE? Happens to a lot of us. That's why you should call Paramount Men's Medical Center. Their licensed physicians can help solve your problem. They'll talk to you about ED or PE. They'll offer custom blended medications. There's no pain or surgery. And you'll see results right in the office at Paramount Men's Medical Center. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history. And it's affordable. So, man to man, contact Paramount Men's Medical Center now for a private consultation. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your exam is free. Call 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Liberal extremists threaten us with a socialist nightmare, and fake conservative Mary Miller helps them do it. In Washington, Miller repeatedly voted with AOC and the Socialist Squad to weaken America. Siding with the radical left, Miller voted to defund our military, oppose fair pay for our troops, and against investigating Joe Biden's disgraceful Afghanistan exit. Miller even bragged about being the only Illinois Republican to stand with AOC and the Socialist Squad to undermine our military. And before Miller sided with liberal extremists against our troops, her family got rich at taxpayer expense, banking almost $1 million in government subsidies. We can't afford to let the socialist win. We can't afford fake conservative Mary Miller. Strong Leaders Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising, paid for by Strong Leaders Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. 1900 Campus Commons Drive, Suite 100, Reston, Virginia, 20191.
At 11:30, we have sunny skies and 86 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel. Survivors are digging by hand through villages in eastern Afghanistan, reduced to rubble by a powerful earthquake that killed at least 1,000 people. The Taliban and the international community have fled their takeover, are now struggling to aid the disaster's victims. The Uvalde School District's police chief has been put on leave following allegations that he erred in his response to the school massacre. The owner of the Fields Foods in Lafayette Square says this morning's attack on a manager at the store will not deter his efforts to revitalize the near South Side neighborhood. Chris Goodson says the attack by a customer who had been barred from the store is very rare.
I've lived here my whole life and developed City Hospital across the street, and we're trying to rebuild this area. We got a lot of great residents and neighborhoods, and people are happy to be here. This just doesn't happen.
Goodson says the suspect first punched the manager, then pulled a gun, which went off as the two struggled over it. He then pulled a knife. The manager suffered lacerations. The suspect was quickly arrested. They're working a stalled vehicle southbound 170 before St. Charles Rock Road. It's on the right. And then westbound 64, there's a stall at Lindbergh Boulevard, also on the right shoulder. The KMOX forecast, sunny and hot, not that humid, the high 91. Right now it's sunny and 86 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
Tune in this weekend for Everyday Wealth with Soledad O'Brien and Gene Chatsky, presented by Edelman Financial Engines. Your hosts and their guests will explore how our financial decisions shape our everyday lives. For airtimes, visit everydaywealth.com.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hey, St. Louis, I want to have an honest conversation about real estate. Never in modern history have we seen a market like this before, and most homes are receiving multiple offers, often well over asking. You can trust that when you hire us, we will market your home correctly and professionally while saving you money. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty, and I've been a broker for over 18 years and have helped thousands of my clients navigate every type of market, including this one. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Find out what's happening with your Redbirds from the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Sundays at 10:15 on Sports Open Line and Wednesday mornings at 9:50. The Ollie Marmol Show.
I'm excited for not only the club but for the fans. This is a special year for sure.
On KMOX.
All right, Amy, Chris, and Kevin here on the show. Our good friend Michael Kelly is kind enough to hang out with us for a little bit longer. So I want to run this by you because I am thoroughly confused by partisan nonsense, right. Michael. Like I'm not confused in the sense that I don't understand it. I'm confused as to why human beings in the year 2022 are this way. So we've got the ideas being floated about gas tax holidays, right?
Right.
So we're hearing about it at the federal level. Joe Biden and the administration are thinking about the 18 cents for regular drivers. It's what, like 25 cents a gallon for diesel, whatever. So it comes down to basically, you might say people $100 over a 3-month period,
right,
if you drive an average number of miles. And he's, of course, getting killed for it. It's a terrible idea. I think it's a terrible idea. He's getting killed by Republicans for it, and rightfully in this case. And then I saw a story this morning, in fact, heard it on Total Information AM, that the Republican governor of Virginia, Youngkin, wants to do the same thing, but is mad because Democrats in Virginia are shooting it down and won't approve it.
Yeah.
How does this make any sense?
We're no longer a serious society.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
Seriously, we're no longer a serious society in that everything is for the temporary moment and not the long term. The suspension of the gas tax is a silly idea because it really is the only form of paying for our roads that we have.
Yeah.
And then they're all posturing they're going to have a gas tax. It's hard when it's 18 cents a gallon when it's costing you what, $5 a gallon, to even imagine that that's not going to fix the problem. It's helpful. And then to do it from a local or a statewide standpoint, I guess it makes some sense. It doesn't ultimately fix the problem. What we have to do is figure out how we're going to be able to utilize energy, where we're going to get our energy from, and if this is the new world we live in. That we are producing more domestic oil right now than we did during the Trump administration. Yet you wouldn't know that. We're all about let's go drill more. It's time to start dealing with the real issues and not the nonsense. Look at the gun debate. I guess we're going to finally get something done with guns, but I would argue to you that we're no longer serious when we're going to allow people to get mowed down and then get caught up into this regular conversation on a yearly, a monthly basis. There was a time when partisan politics would stop and people would come and say, hey, look, you're not going to get the whole pie, Kevin. Amy, you're not going to get what you want. Everybody's going to get a piece of what we want, and we're going to make incremental change. That's now considered to be a loser.
Well, see,
you're considered to be weak if you compromise.
Maybe I'm naive, but I feel like that's exactly what this gun agreement is that one side feels like it's too far, and the Democrats feel like it's not far enough. But it's something, and there's movement. So to me, that's That's acceptable to me, and maybe I'm being naive about this,
No,
but it's something.
I
It's
think it is
it's an
old-fashioned
agreement.
compromise, but I'm not going to believe that it happens until they pass it, because we've been hoodwinked by these folks on guns before, and we have made no changes in gun laws for the last 3 decades. I realize there's a compromise on the table, but if you pay attention to what the candidates for Missouri Senate are saying here, one, they're going after Roy Blunt. He's a rhino, body tags and all that other nonsense, that I'm not sure that they can get this passed. I pray they do. It's an incremental change. Is it going to fix all the problems? Absolutely not. We've got to keep making incremental change and common sense change, and it's taken us 30 years to get this far.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel when I look at the country, especially over the next couple of weeks, especially if the Dobbs decision, whether that drops today or at a future time, because I know the Supreme Court has said there will be an additional decision day. I look at how will this country react, regardless of the decision and regardless what plays out. I'm more fearful of people's reactions, whether it's destruction or violence. And that makes me sad because, again, if we continue to talk as if the other side is actually evil, we demonize that other side, we make it morally wrong to compromise or talk to them, as if why would you negotiate with the devil, right? We demonize that other side. We catastrophize policies. People start acting in desperate ways. We're already seeing it. We're seeing political violence. And so my initial reaction as we look at these very consequential decisions or bills that could be passed is, okay, how is the country going to react?
Yeah. And can we put the genie back into the bottle? I think you're right. I think there's a big concern right now. They come out with this new Roe. What will that mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think we passed that bridge 4 or 5 years ago where there's just no standards anymore. And part of it, if you've listened to John Hancock and I, we believe it is because we have reformed ourselves into sickness. We demonized campaign contributions, and we've created all this campaign finance law that essentially makes good people run money through horrible organizations and dark money organizations. And as a result, just doesn't put 100% spotlight sunshine on the whole process. And that is a result of now that a person can take into a not-for-profit $1 million, which is how Eric Greitens is running. It's a not-for-profit that is running those commercials on your television right now. It's not Eric Greitens. And when they show up, that they're able to utilize this process. And in the past, there would have been a party control over it. The party plays absolutely zero role in the selection and the discipline of candidates anymore because we've reformed ourselves to death with our campaign finance laws.
People act according to incentives, right? We just do. If we're rewarded for something, we take that route. And I feel like in the political environment, we have rewarded extremist rhetoric. We've rewarded fringe statements. As you said, it's politics by soundbite. If I'm a good person, it sounds like I'm a terrible person. If I'm a good person,
let's pause. We want to keep this.
Got a long way to go,
Yeah.
In fact land,
if
please.
I'm a good person, I want nothing to do with politics. I don't want to become a state rep. I don't even want to go to the county council. It's just ugly and mudslinging.
And again, maybe this is naive also, but I do believe, and Kevin thinks that nobody in politics cares about people or very few.
I think
that's
yes,
safe to characterize that.
Very few. And I'd say
I
this,
think
the priority list goes my career, then everything else. That's how I think they see it.
I think that's a case for a lot of people, but I also believe there's a significant amount of people in government who really, truly, actually think they're going to do good for people.
In government, yes.
Chris,
elected federally,
no,
not in my opinion.
that's what I mean, elected officials.
I agree with you, Chris, 100%. I can't tell you the amount of people who will come into my door and to John's door and say, hey, I want to run for office. They're not doing it because they think they're going to be a celebrity. They really want to make a difference at the school board that their kid goes to or the county council that they happen to live in. And even though you may believe some of their positions are misguided, these are not people who are doing it to grease their own pockets. Or to be honest with you, I sometimes wonder why anybody wants to get into politics.
Right.
With everything you have to put up with to be a part of it. 99% of the people that I meet who are involved in politics, even the people who I opposed on both the left and the right are in it for the right reasons. They want to make a difference. Like everything, there are going to be those, well, here we go, bad apples that exist. And I do think the longer that you're entrenched and the further you go up the system, the harder it is to remain grounded in why you got involved.
Sure. Maybe that's what I'm talking about.
That could be
because it's the people that are so tied in. They're not acting in anybody's best interest. They just have to follow the line.
Kevin McCarthy and Nancy Pelosi, if you both were elected to Congress tomorrow, and one was a Democrat, one was a Republican, you get the same lecture from both of them. Kevin McCarthy and Nancy Pelosi would look at both of you and say, your whole job is to get yourself reelected.
Which is the problem.
Which is part of the problem. But that's at a congressional
because I can't do anything
level.
bold if I'm too worried about job security.
Right.
So, Michael, because I've heard you and John Hancock talk about this, a lot of people, I think, Kevin, I think you feel this way, like these people have been in Congress forever. We need to get these career politicians out. And while I understand that it's harder to stay grounded the longer you're in politics, there is something to be said for experience and
institutional
relationships
knowledge.
and institutional and being able to reach your hand across the aisle.
Well, we were told Biden's going to do that. It doesn't help.
But you can't do
it
that
now.
if people don't
You can't
really
do it
want
now.
to work with you either.
Remember that compromise is seen as a sign of weakness now.
Right.
And we actually have people running ads saying that rhinos, people who find compromise, and who he's also implicating in that is Roy Blunt. Now, let me just tell you, I've spent my entire life trying to beat Roy Blunt. This is a decent man. I don't agree with almost anything he stands for, but he is doing this stuff for the right reasons. And for this punk, Eric Greitens, to come out and call him a rhino because he's going to find compromise, that's hard for me to tolerate, because even though I disagree with Roy Blunt, he is open. He listens. He wants to find a way to find compromise and to maybe move the ball down the road a little bit.
And you are speaking from a position of knowledge. You know both of them.
Yeah. Oh,
so it's not like you're just.
I met Eric Greitens. Listen to this, you guys. First time I met Eric Greitens was 2007. I was in Denver, Colorado. What happened in Denver, Colorado? It was the Democratic National Convention, where
What
they
was he
were
doing there?
nominating Barack Obama for president of the United States. Who was sitting in front of me? Eric Greitens. He was there because he was going to run as a Democrat. And then he decided that he was going to run as a Republican. This man is nothing more than an opportunist narcissist. Which, by the way, seems to be a lot more of them coming into politics. And what better place to be a narcissist than, and in politics, because we give them free press to be a narcissist.
They like that attention, huh?
Yeah. He's a dirtball.
I'm sure you've seen the movie Vice, right? And I know it's the
Vice
about Dick Cheney and it's
okay.
Christian Bale or whatever. I think it's this one where he's a young politician. He's deciding what he wants to be, and he hears, I forgot who it is. He hears somebody speaking, and he's like, okay, that guy's a Republican. I want to be that.
Was it Donald Rumsfeld?
It might have been Rumsfeld.
I think it may have been Rumsfeld.
Is that how often does that happen? Where a person wants to get into politics, they know that's going to be their thing. They just haven't decided what party yet. So they decide last minute because they're like,
Seems to be more and more of it happening all the time now.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's a real thing.
But I don't think, Donald Trump's not a Republican.
No.
Nor is he a Democrat.
He's changed parties 5 times
Yeah.
since like 89.
Yeah, I think I would argue to you that our own Congresswoman Bush, she doesn't want to be a congresswoman. She wants to be a celebrity. And hence,
I can see that.
Yeah, hence what we
That's
have
fair.
going on is not necessarily someone who's advocating for their district, but someone who gets attention. She's really no different than Marjorie Taylor Greene to me and Ilhan Omar, although her rhetoric is far more common sense than theirs. At the end of the day, she's trying to be insightful and get attention because she's really not effective in the House.
Michael Kelly with us here on the show. Michael, you are welcome to stay or go. We're going to be talking about fish next. If you have any strong thoughts
You want to talk about
fish.
Asian carp?
I the flying fish.
No.
Yeah, they're flying fish. They fly into your boat.
Yeah, you swing at them with a baseball bat.
Maybe they're trying to get them to fly into your frying pan.
Into your mouth.
Yeah, they're trying to change the name, right?
Yeah,
Michael,
they want to. Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. Good to see you.
Have you been waiting for the perfect time to get your Missouri medical marijuana card? Today is the day at 420id.com. Dispensaries are open and inventory is in. 420id.com is a BBB accredited business with over 16,000 happy Missouri patients. If we can't approve you, you pay nothing at 420id.com. Open late every day until 9 p.m. Sign up for your Missouri medical marijuana card now at 420id.com and use promo code RADIO for $30 off today.
If you are looking to put a fence in your yard or perhaps build a new deck to add value to your home and also make sure that that deck is sturdier than the house itself, well, you need to deal with the #1 fence and deck contractor in the state of Missouri, and that is STL Fence Works. STL Fence Works was opened in 1971 by Russ and Carolyn Long, and now their son, Sean Timothy Long, he's the STL. In STL Fence Works, he runs the company. And again, as I said, they're the #1 fence and deck contractor in the state of Missouri, and they've been able to leverage that position to make sure that they can have plenty of materials and supplies on hand. That means whether you want your deck built or perhaps you need a fence or any other way to beautify your yard space and your home's value, well, STL Fence Works can help you out, and there will not be a long lead-in time. They've got the materials, they've got the craftsmen ready to go, and they have their lifetime warranty that reinforces their commitment to quality. It's a lifetime warranty that surpasses anything else offered in the industry. Visit them today at stlfenceworks.com.
Did you know that the average family home takes on 40 pounds of dust per year? Call 314-474-2020 and ask for the DGS special and get $75 off any air duct cleaning packages. That's Zero Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. ZeroResSTL.com.
I hear all the time for years now, sign up and be a preferred customer. My best recommendation I give my customers is never, ever sign an agreement that states if you purchase from me, in order for you to maintain your warranty, you must pay me hundreds of dollars a year. My philosophy is to shoot everybody straight. My customers come first. When that phone rings, you do not have to pay to be priority. You are priority #1. When that phone rings, you're preferred. I would prefer you call me than the preferred company that you're paying hundreds of dollars to every year. So try them, then call me, Bart Inman. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. Save the number. There are unscrupulous people that are pretending to be me. It's one easy number, 314-293-2600. That's Bart Inman, Bart with a B, Inman with an I, 314-293-2600, or the same spelling, Bart Inman, a BNNI.com.
Hi there, it's John Hancock for First Mid Bank and Trust. They're a community-focused organization. They put so much money back into the communities where they serve. They've been around for 157 years. If you're looking for a bank, check them out. They got 19 locations here in the greater St. Louis area. Plenty of small business professionals to work with. They got insurance experts. Whether you're saving for your first home, paying off debt, or planning for retirement, First Mid Bank is the place for you. Go check them out online, firstmid.com. You'll be glad you did.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great, because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
The annual Swing for Kids golf tournament at Lake Forest Country Club is Monday, August 8th. Find out more information or register your team at communitylivingmo.org/golf.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
Who is this guy?
Kevin Wheeler.
With exaggerated mouth and tongue movements.
On the show.
It's the show on KMOX. Amy Mark Scores, Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler. You can find anything you need to know about us really at the show KMOX on Twitter. Links to places you can listen to us, the podcast. We put those out there every day as well. You can also find all of that at KMOX.com as well. So we're talking about fish in this segment. Ranji, this is you, right? Like, you're all over this story.
Well, this is Maria Kina. This was
but you're the one that was like, we have to talk about the fish.
Oh my God. Well, okay. I think so here's what's happening. Asian carp are invasive. They're not supposed to be here, but they're in the rivers here in our area. So there is an effort to make them more palatable for us to want to eat. Because if we eat them, it's going to help, right? But I think right now a lot of people think of them, first of all, they're very difficult to catch on your own. Like they don't really, they don't take the line. If you're a typical fisherman, you throw the line out, they really won't go for it.
So they're smart?
I don't know, I guess.
Or they just
I guess they figured the whole thing out.
Yeah.
But there is but commercial fishermen, they can do this, right? So they want to change the name of Asian carp to something more
palatable,
appealing,
edible,
right? Because what was it we were talking about? Orange Ruffy in The Office. Orange Ruffy used to be called Slimehead.
That's disgusting. No one would eat.
I
a
would
fish
if it
named
told me
cat.
if I knew it tasted good. I don't care what you call
Well, and the Chilean sea bass
Yes.
famously was the Patagonia toothfish, which also is not palatable. And can I just say the word
So
carp?
by the way, we want to call the Asian carp Kopi now.
Kopi.
C-O-P-I.
Why don't we just call it tasty fish?
Okay, Kevin.
Oh, that just doesn't make any sense.
It's a tasty fish.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna.
Wait, now
I'm-
people-
let's
now-
go to a nice restaurant and order the tasty fish.
Now
Oh,
people
okay,
are going,
maybe
well-
delicious fish.
We know who named the show.
I mean,
Kevin,
you're not wrong.
But when you think of the word carp, you picture the gross fish when you go to the Lake of the Ozarks and you walk down the dock to like the dockside, lakeside restaurants, right? When you're a kid and you see all the carp and their gross little lips coming out of the water and you spit because they eat the spit.
What?
That's what you do. When you're a kid, you spit into the lake where all the carp are.
Ew.
I know.
What?
How have you not spit into what's our text line?
What do you mean? With the number?
Just say the number.
314-436-7900 if you want to text in.
Yes, that way people can text if you would spit at the fish at the
Oh,
Ozarks.
I never did that. What's disgusting?
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
I don't recall doing that.
I've never heard
I mean,
of that.
and I'm, like I'm a spitty person. Like I'm not one of those. I would never do that in public. I mean,
There's no
I'm
way.
a former baseball player.
But that's
Like,
why
we
you
do that.
can't eat a fish called carp.
Well,
Wait,
these carp
you
aren't
mean-
bottom feeders. They swim out in the open and they eat clean stuff, right? So it should be a perfectly fine fish to eat.
You can
I'm a fish guy. I love fish.
I do
I'll
too.
eat any
I
kind
do
of
too.
fish.
Yep. Just tell me it tastes good. I don't care what you call it.
Well, you want it to be called tasty fish.
Yeah.
I
No,
know,
I'm not really.
tasty
Not
fish.
really. I'm being a smartass.
Good fish.
But, like,
Hey, we'll order the good fish.
I just feel like if are we children? Because we had to do that kind of thing to fool kids into eating stuff they don't want to eat.
Yes.
So you call it something else, or you dress it up, or you put here comes a little airplane. I mean, is that what we are?
Yes.
You were
You
wearing
can't just say, by the way, Asian carp are really tasty. We're going to put them in the stores. You should eat them.
I don't know, I think-
We got to fool everybody and be like, no, it's not that. It's Kopi.
Yeah. What if you called wheat thins wheat fats? Nobody would eat it.
Marketing matters, Kevin.
Marketing matters.
But they're thin. It would be really stupid to call them fat.
Well, what if they make you fat?
Well,
I don't know if they do.
I mean, they would if you eat too many.
probably.
But just it just wheat
so would the Asian
thins
carp.
sounds better.
Yes, because they're thin little crackers.
Right, but marketing matters.
Like if you said, here's a Big Mac and we're going to call it the Skinny Mac. I mean, like, that's a huge sandwich.
Wait, I
It's
think
not
there is a
Skinny
skinny Mac.
What?
There's like there's a one patty Mac. I'm almost positive.
One patty Mac.
Like it's just one.
Give
It's
a
not
dog
the
a bone.
double.
I just like, I am very much half kidding when I'm saying all this, but are we children?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
And we're basically 50% children, 50% Beavis and Butthead. We've established this. That's who we are as a country. Oh my gosh.
God. See, don't bring it up.
No.
If you bring it up, then he does that.
I should not have.
Yeah, I think it's called like a Little Mac. Like a Big Mac's got a Little Mac thing.
Kopi rocks.
And then there's a bigger one that's got like 4 patties on it. Anyway, we're off. What are we talking about? Fish.
We're just.
So
I'm
you
trying to
need
get into the ridiculousness of having to rename something because otherwise people won't want to eat it.
Okay, we have a texter in who happens to be Mrs. Mark Scores, and she said that dad.
Your mom?
Mm-hmm. So my dad
Hi, Mom.
taught her to spit off the bridge at the fish. So I learned it
What?
from my mom and dad.
I don't know what's going on at that Mark's Coors house, but I kind of want to hang out there for a while. Just let me hang out at your house because you used to have boy-girl sleepovers when you were a kid.
Oh my
Can I come stay at your
gosh.
Can I come stay at your parents' house for 48 hours?
They would love to
Just
have
bring the
you.
tasty
That's great.
fish.
It's called Good Fish, Kevin.
Oh,
Kopi.
yeah.
Or delicious
I
fish.
but whatever. I will.
Chuck's band. You know Chuck.
I know
the
delicious fishes. That's why I did it. My buddy Chuck Williams.
Okay.
Good man.
I'll-
Very good man.
I don't care what you call the fish. I'll eat slime head all day.
Parents, remember this website. Write it down, make a plan to visit. www.showmeschooloptions.org. Have you always wanted to send your child to private school? If they attend a public school district, or if they're coming in or just out of kindergarten, now may be your chance to receive up to $6,375 per child per year to apply towards private school tuition for this fall. But time is running out. The next school year is around the corner. Go to www.showmeschooloptions.org to learn more about Missouri's Scholars Program. It's new, it's free, it's a chance to invest in your child's future. The Missouri Scholars Program can be used for private school, homeschool, tutoring, therapy, and more. There's nothing more important you can do for your child's future this summer. Go to www.showmeschooloptions.org now. There could be $6,375 just waiting to be claimed. Tell your friends too. www.showmeschooloptions.org. Sign up and see. It's free. And who doesn't like free right about now?
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey for my trusted friend and realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is the agent I've been recommending for years. If you are planning to sell your home in this crazy seller's market, you do not want to leave a single dollar on the table. You'll love working with Gloria. Gloria Liu will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed to price and time frame, or she will buy it guaranteed in writing. Her secret? Well, Gloria has the buyers. Thousands of ready buyers looking for homes in your price range and in your neighborhood. Lawrence and Shelby sold their St. Louis home in just 3 days at $17,250 over asking price, with multiple offers when their previous agent produced 0 results. They chose Gloria over other agents, and they were thrilled with the results. You should call Gloria Liu today with any questions. 314-325-6888. 314-325-6888. It's Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Find her online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. gloriahasthebuyers.com.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
An Odyssey station.
Boy, the financial headlines are concerning. Runaway inflation, taxes going up, wild swings in the market, and maybe another recession. It's no wonder that 57% of people getting ready for retirement are worried. But what if I told you the secret to taking control of your financial future is right there at your fingertips? Yes, it's the phone that you're looking at right now. Call Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group. They're hosting an exclusive educational event on July 13th at St. Peter's Cultural Arts Center. They'll discuss topics like building more income and paying fewer taxes in retirement. The event is complimentary, but seats do fill up fast. Call today, 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC. The All Financial Group and Retirement Wealth Advisors are not affiliated. The All Financial Group is a financial services firm that offers a broad array of products and services, including life insurance and annuities. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news, KMOX.
Sunny skies and 87 degrees downtown at the Arch at 12 o'clock. I'm Carol Daniel. The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Our top story, the Supreme Court saying today that Americans have a right to carry guns in public, a major expansion of gun rights. The court struck down a New York gun law in a ruling expected to directly impact half a dozen other states. The justice's 6-3 decision is expected to allow more people to legally carry guns on the streets of the nation's largest cities, the High Court's first major gun decision in more than a decade. New York City Mayor Eric Adams with this reaction.
And we cannot allow New York to become the wild, wild west this decision is created. We will not allow our city to live in fear that everyone around us is armed and that any altercation could evolve into a shootout.
John Lowy is chief counsel for Brady United Against Gun Violence.
The Supreme Court has invented a right which has never existed in American history and has greatly restricted the ability of Americans to have gun safety laws that they want and need to protect themselves.
Justice Clarence Thomas wrote for the majority that the Constitution protects an individual's right to carry a handgun for self-defense outside the home. A manager at the Fields Foods store in Lafayette Square is expected to be okay after being attacked by a customer at the store this morning.
Store owner Chris Goodson says the suspect, who had been banned from the store for acting irrationally, walked up to the manager as the store was opening at 7 o'clock. He started complaining about not being allowed in the store and then attacked the manager.
He was attacked physically by his hands and by a knife. So that was at the front desk there when the manager was talking with him.
The suspect first punched the manager and then pulled a gun. That went off as the manager disarmed him. Then the suspect pulled a knife. The manager, through it all, was cut in the face and a hand. Employees identified the attacker, and he was quickly run down by police. Brian Kelly, KMOX News.
The CDC confirming 2 more cases of monkeypox in Missouri. The City of St. Louis Health Department says they're working with other state health agencies to get more details. As of now, we do not know where in the state the other cases were detected. The first place Cardinals take on the Brewers in the last game of the series. Pre-game coming up right here on KMOX at 12:10. The First Mid Bank and Trust Business Desk, fixing Missouri supply chain issues, will take a wide-ranging series of investments ranging from highways to ports to people. That's the finding of a task force put together by Governor Mike Parson, which will submit its final report a week from today. Task force co-chair Dr. Marty Leathers says while infrastructure is important, so is investing in the people who will do the work.
Obviously, we need a lot of architects and engineers to help design the systems, but at the same time, we need a lot of individuals who can operate the shipping lanes, can ensure that we have enough truck drivers in Missouri.
He says the report will list 33 recommendations, which come from a series of public meetings around the state and other public and corporate input. The Dow from Stifel is down 148 points. Watch for debris northbound 270 before Gravois Road. Be prepared to stop. There's a stalled vehicle eastbound 270 past Elizabeth Avenue. The right lane is closed as a result.
No real complaints about our weather on this Thursday afternoon. Lots of sunshine, temperatures close to where we should be, 89, 90. The key, humidity levels quite comfortable. Tonight, partly cloudy, a drop through the 80s for evening plans, 65 for the low. Friday, partly sunny, okay in the morning, but increasing heat and humidity Friday afternoon with a high of 95. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
The forecast sponsored by STL Windows Direct. Right now it's sunny and 87 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
We've got afternoon baseball here on KMOX. We're wrapping up the show here in just a few minutes. Cardinals pregame show starting at 12:15 with our buddy Tom Ackerman on the pregame show. Cardinals and the Brewers going. Cardinals going for the 3 out of 4 if they can get the win today. So they've already at least split the series. Good win last night. It's a good day when Waino's not at his best and you win anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what happened last night. The bullpen, Johan Oviedo
Good for
got his
him.
first
Good for
big league
Oviedo.
win. Yeah, he was great in relief.
Okay, I have a question about how much this happens in baseball and how important it is. I hope I get the details right. But Oviedo was pitching, and I think he ran to first base to cover first base.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was going back to the mound to pitch. And Arenado asked to use the spike cleaner to buy some time so that Oviedo, and this is, I think, what John Kelly...
The spike cleaner or the rosin bag or whatever?
It's about the thing where they use their
John
foot.
Rooney.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spike. It was his foot.
Okay, so it's a
cleaning
little
his
rubber
feet.
thing on the back of the mound.
Yeah, with little-
Yeah, Arenado used
Yeah.
that. And I think it was Ricky Horton talking to John Rooney said that could be just a veteran move saying, hey, I'm going to buy my pitcher a bit more time.
Stuff like that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Guy, got to tie my shoe.
But that's like a veteran move, or it happens all the time where it's not that special?
It's a veteran move. Like a savvy player will do something like that on their own without having to be told. Like sometimes, in this case, it's the pitcher going back to the mound and you don't want to have him like just rush back up there and be out of breath or whatever. And a pitcher might do that every once in a while too if somebody has to make a difficult play or they're slow getting up after not getting the wind knocked out of them or whatever. But there's those subtle little moves where if you need to buy an extra 10, 15 seconds, there are all kinds of things you do.
Or like when a catcher takes a foul tip to the area.
The junk.
And the junk. I didn't know if I could say junk, and I really wanted to say junk.
It's okay word.
To the front office.
To the front office. You could really substitute.
Actually, I kind of like that.
You know what's great is you can actually substitute almost anything, and people are going to know what you mean.
He takes a pitch to the front office.
He took a pitch right there to the...
And the only thing umpires that...
Everything I wanted to say would get me in trouble. I stopped.
You could say anything except for everything I want to say.
Except for everything that I want to say.
You could take there's only one thing that umpires do that I think is great, and that's when because for me you could replace all. It's the only thing in the world I wish was automated was officiating. So when the umpire gets up after a catcher takes one to the front office, and the umpire buys time by walking in front of the plate and sweeping the plate
off.
Or like if he's got a new ball for the pitcher to use, he'll walk it out to him.
And he'll always go. That's where they go get more baseballs from the bat boys that are on the side. Yeah, they always kill some time.
While the catcher is collecting himself because he just took one to the pair.
Yeah, and the players do that same thing. Like when an umpire gets smoked, they'll get a foul ball, whatever, and catcher's going to go to the mound and talk to the pitcher, and everybody's going to take their time doing it. That's what that was. It's a good veteran move. What Arenado did there.
The band got hit in the trumpet section.
Yeah. Yep. See?
Oh, come on, Amy.
Absolutely. Or maybe a tuba.
What?
The tuba section. Tuba's a funny word.
Could you guys just grow up? The two of you. I am the only adult in this room.
Right.
Producer Dave isn't even. Yeah, Tyler and I were just talking about this. Tyler Rosen in the other room. He's producing.
He'll be running the Cardinals game today.
Yeah, he's running the Cardinals game. He's been helping us out today too.
Tom Ackerman just texted that his broadcast partner at the Missouri Valley Conference games calls it the future, as in, we got him in the future.
I like that one too.
I like that a lot. That's really
he believes
good.
The children are the future.
Teach them well, Kevin. Don't finish the rest of it.
I don't know the rest.
Teach
of it.
them well and let them lead the way. You don't know that?
How do you not know that?
It's Whitney Houston.
I mean, I knew that.
Un-American.
That is you're not you're not a real American, Kevin.
Okay.
You don't like Whitney Houston.
All right. I still live here.
Well, maybe you better love it or leave it, pal. About time for you to leave it, if you ask me. Don't like Whitney Houston?
Yeah.
Oh
best
my
national,
Kevin doesn't like her new stuff.
Best national anthem ever.
What? Oh,
Whitney
yeah.
Houston.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why you don't like America.
No, I like that. I just don't care about her other
It's the
dumb
only
songs.
national anthem in my lifetime I ever remember that had airplay on the like it was in the regular rotation on radio stations in this city, and I'm sure all over the country too. It hasn't happened before or since that I'm aware of.
Yeah, there have been a few that were on the bad side that got a lot of attention. Roseanne. Did you ever see the Carl Lewis one?
Oh,
it was so funny.
brutal.
The players laughing on the sideline before an NBA game.
So bad.
Oh, I mean, if you haven't seen Carl Lewis singing the anthem, you need to Google it, search the video, and then look at Charles Barkley's face. It's pretty great because he's listening and they all go, all together.
Oh, it's so bad. It's very uncomfortable when somebody sings a bad anthem.
Oh, it is brutal. It is brutal. All right, we've got Cardinals baseball coming your way in a few minutes. Dakota Hudson for the Cardinals. I'm kidding, not kidding you. Jason Alexander pitching for the Brewers. 110.
George is getting upset.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here, and I want to tell you about. In fact, I'm going to change that. I want to brag to you about two of my favorite companies owned by two guys that are just fantastic. Stefan and Brady do a great job, both with Soulard Door and Fence and Entry Point of St. Louis. I have used both of these companies. They have made my house and my life just better. When it comes to Soulard Door and Fence, they did my yard. They actually did my neighbor's yard too. Let me tell you two things. The job got done quickly and cleanly, and they had the best price of any quote that we saw. And that was true for my next door neighbor as well. They did amazing work. You can find out more at SoulardDoorSTL.com. And by the way, they're doing jobs faster than other companies right now. And as I mentioned, at a better price. You're going to save some money with Soulard Door and Fence. When it comes to Entry Point of St. Louis, if you're looking at a new door, don't look anymore and don't buy a new door, because with Entry Point of St. Louis, you can get a new door for about half the cost of actually going out and getting a new door. Check them both out at SoulardDoorSTL.com, or you can call 314-764-2087.
At 420ID.com, we make it easy to get your Missouri medical marijuana card. Dispensaries are open and inventory is in, so why wait? 420ID is the only company that provides you with a real plastic ID card and have served over 19,000 happy Missouri patients. Open late every day until 9 p.m. If we can't approve you, you pay nothing at 420ID.com. Today is the day to sign